Writing thank you cards is an important life skill. It's something that we teach very young in our house. If someone sends a birthday card or they send you a gift or they even do something nice for you, thank you cards are kind of a expectation in our household. Starting very, very little, the kids would even just put their name, write their name, or I would outline their hands when I wrote like a thank you card for a gift. I would outline their hand on the card and say, thank you so much from Riker, or thank you so much from Taylor, whatever kid it was from. It doesn't have to be a stressful task though. I know a lot of people are like, I don't know what to say when I write a thank you card. So they just won't do it. But I feel like a lot of politeness and a lot of our manners are kind of lost in this generation. But in this video, I'm going to show you how ChatGPT can help you make thank you card writing a lot easier and like make it easier and personal, and how to make it sound nice so you feel comfortable writing it down. You can ask for different lengths and so on. And we're going to actually talk about that. Not only am I going to walk you through how to write thank you cards for any occasion, honestly, I'm also going to show you how parents can actually use this as a teaching opportunity for your kids, okay? Because again, they only learn what we teach them. So first, let's talk about what makes a good thank you card. This is something I think even parents need to understand, even random people need to understand what actually makes a good thank you card. Well, the first part is the personal greeting. Obviously, you want to say to the recipient, whoever it is, like let's say I'm thanking my mom. I'm going to be using this as an example. My mom has sent me money for my birthday, and I'm going to say, dear mom, or mom, comma, because to me she's mom, but I might say her actual name when I'm writing it if it was like a friend or another family member that doesn't have a title. Dad might have dad, right? Or grandma or grandpa, because that's their title. You want to say is dear mom, and then you want to express the gratitude. This is what you're actually going to clearly state what it is that you're thankful for. Thank you so much for the gift. Sometimes people like it when you say thank you so much for the $25. I prefer not to say exactly what the money is. I'm always just like, thank you for the gift. Thank you for, even saying the money always seemed kind of rough sounding to me, like not very etiquette-ish, if that makes sense. So I always like to say like, thank you for the gift. I can't wait to use it. Or thank you so much for the gift. I'm going to apply it towards this. So money itself is not really a term that I use, but anything else. Thank you so much for the journal. Thank you so much for the collection of presents. Thank you so much so my grandmother quilts, and she gave us a quilt for our wedding day. And I remember writing in my thank you card, thank you so much for the beautiful quilt. My favorite part is, and then I described what part of the quilt was my favorite. It's beautiful. Thank you. When my mom does blankets for the kids, she always says, she names it Hugs. She calls them Hugs by Nana, and she puts them somewhere on the blanket. And so then the kids would say, oh, I really like the Hugs by Nana, that kind of a thing. You are clearly stating what you're thankful for. And then you also want to mention specific details. Like for instance, like I said, something specific about the gift or the occasion. Thank you so much for the gift that you gave me for my wedding. I really appreciated seeing you there. Or I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to see you there. I'm so grateful that you thought of us, right? And then you're going to close it. End with the warm and thoughtful sign off, like, thank you again. I can't wait to see you again. Or thank you so much. And I look forward to whatever, right? And this teaches both kids and the adults this is teaching, again, how a well-structured thank you note should be written. And this is okay if you put this in an email as well. I know when I was growing up, absolutely not. Even 10 years ago, absolutely not. Don't send me a thank you email. But with the cost of stamps and the cost of envelopes and paper and all the things, I think it's okay to write a thank you email. And people actually read their email, and I don't actually even get that kind of mail anymore. Sometimes we do, but not so much. But if my kids get birthday money in the mail, they're sending a thank you card in the mail. That is how we do it. If you send me something by email, I'm going to send you back something by email. And so it's kind of like a give and take. So you're going to need to figure out what works best for you and to what your level is. I don't think a thank you text is appropriate, but that seems to be what this generation currently is doing. And I feel like, and for me, that's not appropriate from me, but this is the generation who is raised on phones, raised on computers, right? Like that's their form. And again, it's more expensive to send through the mail. So I kind of feel like if we learn the appropriate way to send a thank you text and a thank you email, it's okay. All right. So let's talk really quick about how we're going to use ChatGPT, like the things that we're going to say and how we're going to use it to write out this card, because you can copy and paste it into an email or copy and paste it into a text, but you're going to actually have to handwrite it unless you're going to print it out, which is totally fine. But again, it's really nice to have handwritten. So I tend to lean towards shorter because carpal tunnel, right? So for instance, I received the way you talk to chat is going to be a big deal. Okay. So I'm just going to give an example. I received a toy truck for my birthday from grandma. Please help me write a thank you card. Okay. Example output would probably be something like, "Dear Grandma, thank you so much for the wonderful toy truck you gave me for my birthday. I've been having so much fun playing with it, and I can't wait to show you next time I see you. Love, Timothy." Okay. So this is a great example of how to make it quick and easy, and it's personalized. And again, minimal effort, especially for busy parents, and that will actually help the child learn to write, right? Okay. So here is how I would teach my kids to do it if it was me. Okay, so you're going to show your kids how they can use ChatGPT as a tool to teach your kids how to write thank you cards. This can be for anything: birthdays, Christmas, graduation coming up, maybe help with the project at school, all kinds of stuff. So you might say, again, something like, "Hey Chat, my daughter received this. Will you please help her figure out the different portions of a thank you note and what should go where, and please use it as a teaching moment." Okay, I'm gonna have some of these prompts down below as well for you, so you can see what it is that we're talking about, like in visual form. You can also use this to explain. So ask Chat to help you to explain how to structure the thank you card and what the importance of each part is. Why would we say who it's from? Why are we being specific on the gifts? It really needs to make sense to the kids as well as to the parents. So use this to teach yourself if you're not quite sure how to write the proper thank you card. Okay. Another thing is when we're teaching the templates for what we're using, like who it's to, what we're grateful, that we're grateful, what we're excited about with specifics, and then who it's from. When we teach that, then if a kid is out and they get a gift and they don't have access to Chat or something, then they have learned how to actually write this thank you card, for example, and they know how to use the structure and the template form for it. I think that's what is so important about AI is we don't use it to replace ourselves. We use it to teach ourselves. It's an assistant, right? So we teach it, but it will also teach us if we let it. And that's what I think we need to be doing. For instance, I've been working a long time with Chat. I love Chat. Chat in my own account is taught to, we both say thank you. We're very encouraging back and forth. I've talked about this before. And so when I take my plans to Chat, I tell him, I want you to be honest with me, but I don't want you to put me down because I don't want to be discouraged, right? I don't need that. I don't need that. And I don't need my children to be discouraged if they use the account or whatever. When you're talking about teaching your children with this type of a thing, you want to make sure and be like, hey, make sure that you add some kind of, like, for instance, a unique touch to it because Chat is helping you write this. He's not going to write it for you. So for instance, we could say, hey, make sure and add your unique touch. So my son might say, I really loved playing with this. I've been saving up money for my Xbox, and I really am so grateful that you sent me that gift, because it helps them to know that it's actually going to go towards something that he has been doing, right? So that's a really great way to add their unique touch to it and to also teach them that AI is not going to be your replacement. You're going to be using it as a tool. Okay. And guys, AI is here to stay. So let's just keep that in mind. Okay. Now, writing thank you text can be important if it's not something like a gift, right? Like if someone didn't spend time or money on you and it's just something like, hey, thank you so much for picking up my kid. This is a great way to learn how to write a fast thank you text. So for instance, here is an example input that I might use into Chat to learn how to do this. I want to thank my friend for helping me out with the kids this weekend. Can you write a short thank you text that has meaning? And I would always add something like that has meaning, that is heartfelt, that is fun, that is teasing, that is whatever, right? Example output might be, hey, Susan, I just wanted to say a huge thank you for helping me with the kids this weekend. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to return the favor. And there was some emojis included. Like, that's pretty cool, right? Or you can add your own emojis and whatever, but it keeps it short, keeps it fun, and it doesn't make you look like you're just saying, hey, thanks for watching the kids, right? She was like, hey, I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to return the favor, right? So the benefit is that parents can actually use ChatGPT to craft these thoughtful messages when they're in a rush. I have actually had where I'm like, okay, how do I reply to this person? I'm a seminary teacher, and I've had comments from parents on things, questions, and I'm like, how do I phrase this without sounding, because I'm a straight to the point person. I don't do a lot of the fluff, and so I'm like, how do I phrase this so it doesn't hurt feelings, but so it gets my point across? And I've had these discussions with Chat before, and that's really great to be using this. So different occasions that you might use your thank you cards or your text or your emails for might be birthday gifts, might be holiday presents, helping hands. Again, we talked about that. Attending an event, maybe coming to graduation, flying all the way for a baby shower, even just participating in like an online baby shower. I just want you to see how important thank you notes are. I'm a huge one on manners. Thank you notes are so important. It's so important. And it's just super easy to ask Chat how to write them and then how to adapt these messages for each situation, okay? I really think that it's important to also, if you're including like ChatGPT in this, it might help make the thank you cards writing kind of fun. If it's something your kids have never really done, then you haven't taught them that, right? Like, I'm very comfortable in saying to my kids, you got that, now make sure you write a thank you card. They know where we store the thank you cards. They know where to find the stamps. They know how to address the envelopes. This is an important skill to have. And I love that they do that. And they've been doing this since they were little. If you need help writing it, make sure you go and get the envelopes, get the cards, pick out the cards that you want, and let's get those written and let's put some stamps on them. This is great. And my 15-year-old son just got a bunch of birthday cards. And so I was like, honey, you need to get your thank you cards out. And he went and did all the things. They look beautiful. His handwriting is gorgeous. And so he's writing all the things and they're ready to go. The only thing I can't teach them how to do, though, is to put it in the mailbox. So the cards will sit there and sit there and sit there. And I'm like, a thank you card doesn't do much unless you put it in the mailbox. So make sure that you're teaching that step as well. But I think it's important, again, like I said, when you use things like this, it helps keep these types of really important life skills. It keeps them fun. And it uses tech and teaches them how to use tech in a way that's going to eventually help them, whether they're in school or whether they're at work or whether they're getting their own business and clients. But if you teach them how to use these things smart and in real life situations at a young age, then it's something that you are actually setting the foundation for later. Okay. So let's just say one more time, I want you to know that I think thank you cards are important, but even more importantly, I think it's important that we identify how we want to use AI in our lives and we respect the boundaries that we want to set for it. If you don't understand something, you can't identify how and when you want to use it. But if you do understand it, then you can identify, yes, this works for me, or no, this doesn't work for me. And I've brought this up before, but I'll reiterate it one more time. We don't really like Alexa in our home. We don't like using the voice AI assistants. Sometimes the kids do on their tablets and stuff, but in general, we don't have those in our house. You might in your house, and that's great. But because I understand the models and I understand the uses for them, I can actually say, yeah, I'm comfortable with this, but not with this. And that's because I have the knowledge of this. And that's what my goal is here, is to teach you the different ways to use AI and the different ways that you can set up your own boundaries because you understand them. Guys, hit like and subscribe. And I'm just so excited to have you here. And if you have any questions about any more GPTs or other ways that you can use chat, please check out my other videos or go over to simpleaiforfamilies.com, where I teach all kinds of stuff in all different kinds of ways. And you'll even see these videos over there as well.